Right, this is a commentary for Path to Valhalla, man. Check out these CG credits done by Dr. Lopez. We just spent a night on doing three sort of separate CG titles. We did Shinobi no Mono, we did Path to Valhalla, and we did Crusader, and they all turned out wicked. Really, I should have them wait at the beginning so I have better intros, but as all my projects developed, it's always like that where it takes a bit of time. Anyway, let's get to the meat hole scene. So this is one of the big scenes that took forever to render. This took months of me waiting. I had to fight for this geese shot, even though it was Dr. Lopez's suggestion at first. I was kind of like, yeah, we don't really need it, but of course I need a reverse. You have to have a reverse in every CG scene, no matter what. I mean, any scene regardless, really. If you stay on one sort of, angle too long, it basically gets a bit boring and stale. Anyway, this is the other scene that took forever to render, the funeral scene. So we had some tests done, and it was kind of cool, but there was something not right with the flames, really, like they kind of cropped out the top. So Brian, Mr. Lopez, sorry, Dr. Lopez, he just like carried on, and then he kind of rendered out eventually. It was really hot during the heat wave, so he couldn't get it done. This ship fleet shot we kind of did quite early on. We did like a single ship, and then I kind of had a brainstorm. I was like, dude, there's got to be like a fleet, right? Even though he's a lone Viking, like in all my stories, there's all kind of lone characters because they're all played by me. So I have to kind of always tie that into the story that, you know, even though it's like just me playing everybody, it's kind of a whole world within it. The green screen, if you will. This ghost scene originally was supposed to be a tripping scene. Now, you know, I've like done some in the past, and not anymore though, but this is kind of like a tie-in to basically bring in my characters from Descendants, so the costumes, reuse them. And then also when I improv'd, I was like, you must be my Descendants. So there's definitely a Descendant link there, I just can't help it. And yeah, like check out these guys. There's some kind of like weird looking around. The Exco is out there, whoops. But yeah, I was kind of happy to bring all that stuff back because it's basically just sitting in a closet not getting used, and I love some of those outfits, you know. The Roman one was still a bit flimsy months later, but you know, now I've kind of moved on to Viking, which is way cooler, and obviously Crusader and other stuff like Ninja. So it's all about staying cool, being as cool as possible, really, like with the costumes, with the look, the grade, the CG kind of, you know, the characters, if you will. So I'm kind of getting more inventive with like wearing masks and, you know, different outfits and stuff, covering my face like a ninja. I was covering my face constantly because of the Shinobi mask. And then this runestone, this is actually Valknut, so it's a reference to Odin, and it's kind of a link between the sort of the two worlds, sort of death and then reality. Now we go to Ragnarok. There's Fenrir, Jormungandr, you know, Hel. I didn't really get right because it's a girl, but you know, I don't really have girls here, it's all dudes, so I just made her into like, you know, some kind of monster or whatever. That's kind of like, you know, Jormungandr or serpent-y, kind of maybe Hel as well, but that's a true Jormungandr. I'm really happy with that look. We got that off YouTube green screen, it was sick. These Draugr, one of the first things, actually I think the very first thing I shot, I was just obsessed with them. Part of my research, I just couldn't get enough of them. They're wicked, I love them. Now we go into Valhalla, which I was kind of debating for a while. I need one more scene. I always like to shoot things in threes if possible, 3 sections, you know, depending on the project, whatever. So Valhalla was that last one nagging at me like, oh, I need one more scene. So I did it where they all go up to heaven, and I kind of made a bit of a joke out of it in the improv. Did all this makeup, and then I was like stressing because I was starting to sweat, and then it was kind of getting into the costume, and you know, I don't really want to damage the costume because I gotta like rent them, so I'm trying to keep them pristine, even though real ones be weathered and like torn and ripped and, you know, aged, it's called. And then finally the gates of Valhalla open. That's me as Odin and Thor. Some people love this scene. I think it's quite funny because I'm like father and son. If you see the meat hole, there's actually an Easter egg in them, and it's quite cool. And then there's these fake credits I did so early on. The music was actually for the Valhalla extended cut. This was my original outro I made, you know, without Lopez's help. But yeah, like obviously some of the edges are a bit sketch, but I'm doing a lot of that in Premiere, so I'm kind of layering them up. And then these are the wicked end screens, you know, so there's HEDREGARD the Viking. I'm not wearing a beard so you can see what I'm saying, because with the beard I was basically, in the edit, I kind of cheated a lot. I kind of cut a lot of stuff. I sort of like move shit around, so the whole speech, improv, I kind of mix them all together, plus I'm playing the other characters, so I've got like loads of audio, and then I was playing around with distance and stuff, because in Premiere the sound is great. Anyway, that's it for the commentary. Hope you learned something. Peace out, Valhalla.